How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Raffle, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. So today we're going to be covering a little bit of news, you could say. There's been stuff happening and I haven't covered it yet because, once again, I was busy yesterday, so I didn't cover the news yesterday. But from now on, guys, I won't be busy with stuff. I'll be, 100% active when it comes to Pokemon news. So do stick around if you want to see whatever's happening in the community in terms of news and information and leaks and rumors, all that stuff. I will be active and I will be posting every single day from now on. So stick around and, you'll get the info that you desire. Either way, I will also be streaming today, which, will be awesome. I'll be starting daily streams, as well as also, just talking about news and that sort of stuff in videos, and top 10s every single day. So let's get started with this. There's been gameplay that's come out. Now, there is this stuff right here, this tweet by Let's Go Rod Rocket here, which I'll go through afterwards, because what we're looking at today, the news that we've got today, is new gameplay. Like, gameplay of following Pokemon has showed up, and this was posted, I guess, on Twitter or something, and then, like, people, reposted it on YouTube, because I'm watching it on YouTube right here by one of the viewers who sent it to me, Games and Anime sent it to me, but either way, let's look at the gameplay, because there's something interesting about it that I want to show you guys. Now, first things first, you won't notice it here because I've got my camera in the way, but if I move it up here, you'll notice that the character is running, and the Caterpie that's following the player actually stays far behind if the player outruns it with, like, I guess, running shoes. So that's really interesting. You see right around the corners here, you can notice that as soon as the player goes around the corner, the Caterpie stays behind because, you got too much speed and the Caterpie is not fast enough to keep up with you. So that's an interesting factor, if I'm going to be honest, because it's going to make it really punishing to use running shoes, which in one way, I guess, sure, that's like, it's fine. I guess, like, it feels like, I mean, I don't know, in one sense, I'm just like, okay, but, like, it feels a little bit odd. And also, why would I then, like, it's like, if I want to get places fast, I would just not use a following Pokemon behind me. I'd just take a ride Pokemon, like an Onix or something. But, either way, so we continue through the gameplay here, and we'll probably see more things happen. Let's see, so I think, right here, actually, which route is he on here? I would assume it's like, actually, I can't even tell. But, this is the one that I'm interested about, right? So this is the one where the tweet makes sense. So you'll notice people have been complaining about this, right? How Venusaur actually moves. Now the thing is, right, this makes sense in many ways because Venusaur is supposed to be based on a toad, like, straight up. That's supposed to be like the thing that it's based on. So this isn't really surprising to me, if I'm going to be frankly honest. Like, I mean, it's a little bit odd, right? I wasn't expecting to see this, like this, but in one way, it's also like, okay, it is a toad. I kind of get it. It doesn't look, like, amazing, but, like, it looked kind of funny, if I'm going to be honest. It looks kind of hilarious. But there is one thing that I want to mention about this, and this is where Let's Go Rod actually brought something important up. And I want to mention this because I feel like just in one way, I don't know why, but it almost feels like Game Freak have been really kind of lazily put together the Let's Go games. Or like they just kind of, like, rehashed assets pretty smoothly. But let's actually take a look at what he's saying here. So he says, the highlight of my day was this toad. And then he posts this image, which is really just, this is where I'm just like, okay. About the race of the, I guess, the movement of the Venusaur in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, it looks just like the animations that had been made for Pokemon Sun and Moon. I confirmed this in the video. And here you go, you can actually see that you had this exact same animation, like this jumping forward, like, like a toad animation in the Pokemon Sun and Moon games, where you had these animations. So this was back in 2016, okay? And we know the games were made in 2 years. Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee were made in 2 years, so they were started back in 2016, which means that the animations they had in Sun and Moon just got rehashed for Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, but they were in Sun and Moon because they thought about using it there, but they decided, yeah, we won't do that. We'll just keep it for these other games we're making for the Switch, which is kind of what we guessed. Like, we guessed that was going to happen, and it's true. Hey, literally, everything we kind of been guessing, like, with like, little hints and stuff, is kind of turned out true. Now, in one sense, I'm just like, okay, I mean, why did you put them in Sun and Moon, though? Like, why were they in Sun and Moon? Were they originally supposed to be in Sun and Moon, but then you decided, no, it'll be cooler if we have this as a new feature or like, as a feature, so to say, in the Let's Go games? Or, like, what was the thinking behind it? Because, honestly, it's just, I feel like they should have been in Sun and Moon. I would have loved to have following Pokemon in Sun and Moon, but I guess the hardware capabilities not there, etc., etc., etc. I guess that's one of those things. But let's see what it says here as well. About Pokemon Let's Go Map Kanto, redone what already existed. Songs they made, new arrangements. Oh, but it's a remake. If it wasn't Game Freak who said it wasn't, where are the new songs? Following Pokemon used the same animations as Sun and Moon. Pokemon 2019 has to be at least PHODA. I don't know what that means. And then he says, but still, yes, I'm excited about the game. Just Game Freak did not work too much in the game, right? Yeah, that's where I have an issue, right? That's where I have an issue when it comes to these games, is that people keep giving Game Freak a pass. And it's just like, okay, it's one game in terms of like, okay, it's just one set of games, right? Don't be pissed off. The thing for me is, I'm not even pissed off. I'm just like disappointed that they wouldn't like, have taken more time on these games. Like, I would have rather waited for these games to come out like in a year or two than just to have like a pretty like lazily put together set of games that probably won't have much when it comes to post game or like just general gameplay. In all honesty, I feel like it's just gonna be kind of like Pokemon Go, kind of like replay the same thing and not really much beyond that, and just like a few event Pokemon like legendaries, and that's it, right? You like get 150 Pokemon, get the Alolan forms, Alola Kanto Alola forms, and you're done, right? That's kind of the extent of it, I feel like. But I mean, I don't know, I could be wrong. For me, it just feels like you're charging us more money, because now it's on the Switch, right? Whatever, sure, you can charge more money now. You're charging more money for these games, but it feels like they have less content. And that's just me again. I mean, maybe it's different for other people, maybe you feel different about it, but it feels like they're reusing content, or content that could have been, like, better used in other games is being used in these games, and then who knows, maybe they'll be like, okay, no following Pokemon in Gen 8. Because that's what I feel like. I feel like they're going to not give us any following Pokemon in Gen 8, because their excuse is going to be, well, we had following Pokemon in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and we thought, right, people wouldn't like it because it was a feature that only fit that game. They're probably going to pull some bullshit like that, I bet you, because Game Freak does this all the time. The same thing when they removed the Battle Frontier. When they removed the Battle Frontier and they didn't put it in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, their excuses were really dumb. It's like, oh, people don't have enough like patience or time, or they don't feel like spending too much time in the Battle Frontier. Blah blah blah. It's just like, what? What? That's just excuses. It's just excuses, and I bet you right now there won't be any following Pokemon in the Pokemon Generation 8 game, but the 2019 Pokemon games next year there won't be any following Pokemon because they're probably gonna have an excuse for it. And here clearly they just reuse the assets they made for Sun and Moon, which they decided to not use and instead use here. Which, honestly, I mean, hey, fair enough. That's actually not a bad thing. I'm happy that there are following Pokemon in this game. And I'm just happy we're seeing following Pokemon. And you can even ride some of them and actually have them as mounts. That's awesome. To me, that's fantastic. I love that. But, of course, there is the idea, like, the problem of, okay, but you just kind of rehash stuff here. And why wasn't this available in Sun and Moon? Did you specifically withhold it just so you can reuse it here instead? Also, there are following there are following animations for every Pokemon in those games, in Sun and Moon. So, does that mean that there is the potential of those Pokemon having following animations in these games in the future, or for other Let's Go games in the future, or maybe if not even Let's Go games, maybe for the Generation 8 games? If so, I'd be happy. I think most people would be happy if there are following Pokemon next year. I could be wrong about them not being there, though I'm 100%, like, I'm 70% sure there won't be any. But if there are, then hey, I'm happy I was wrong. I'm gonna be so happy that I'm wrong if if they are there and they're available. But either way, let's continue through the gameplay because I do want to see one of the following Pokemon here, which are really awesome. Now, of course, Venusaur does look derpy. We can't deny that. It looks weird, right? It looks weird, but I kind of like it. I think it's adorable, derpy, and kind of funny in a sense. It's strange. I like it. And here you talk to it. And this is a weird, I don't know why, that little bounce animation, just like, I'm not taking that. Looks a little bit odd. This is, okay. Well then. This is gonna be one of the most weird, I mean, I don't know, man. Okay, Onix, of course, we've seen this a few times already. You can ride on Onix, which, does this mean that you can essentially ride a mount as soon as you get the Pokemon? You can just straight up just ride it as a mount, which is kind of crazy in all honesty, because you're going to be able to catch quite a few crazy Pokemon early on as well now, because they've essentially changed the encounter rates and what you find in what areas. So I'm really curious how this is going to work out. I'm actually really, really curious. Now, this is my favorite. Like, I mean, look at it. It's just like Electrode, but it's just like, it's different. It's slightly different. You can see this is Diglett Cave, I guess. Diglett's Cave, yep. And you can see, actually, that was yeah, I see a Diglett up there popping up. Yep. Nothing crazy here. It's rolling. It's nice. I think that's it for the gameplay. Yep, that's about it. So yeah, that is it for the gameplay, guys. But yeah, that was essentially what you had here. There wasn't anything else beyond that. But again, it's just like, I wanted to bring this up because I was really intrigued by the fact that the animations are reused by Sun and Moon. And again, I'm going to play these games. I'm going to give them a fair shot, okay? If you don't want to play the games, then wait until the games are out and there are reviews. And don't look at IGN or some shit. Just, like, wait until somebody properly plays the game. Somebody who you trust more. Not IGN or some shit like that, or Game Critic, or whatever the hell those websites are called. Like, or Metacritic or whatever. Just, like, wait until the games have been, like, fully played through. All the post-game stuff is done. And then, if you don't feel like playing these games, if you don't want to buy them, you don't want to spend your money on them. Wait, did his legs disappear there in the freaking... Oh, no, I guess it was just like a weird place where I stopped the video. But just, like, wait, and then once the full reviews are out, once all the information is there, then you can definitely decide on what you want, what you want to do, if you want to buy the game or not. Because I would wait if you're really unsure, if you're, like, in my position right now. As a YouTuber, I'm going to play it. I'm going to go through and play the games because I want to give a review on it, and I also want to still, like, see what the games are about. If I wasn't a YouTuber, I'd probably not buy these games. I'd probably wait until next year, personally. But then again, I feel like it's worth giving them a chance. It's not, I mean, I think it's stupid if I just, like, write them off as bad without even playing them. So I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to wait until they're out, play the games, and give them a shot, and then I'm going to decide, okay, is this good or bad? Was this worth it? Was this awful? What are these games to me? And that's going to be just about it, guys. So either way, thank you so much for watching. That's going to be the end of the video, guys. If you want to check out any of this gameplay, any of this stuff, I'll link it all down below so you guys can check it out on your own. Either way, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Have a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.